Hello, all myself Vedangi and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. And my today's topic for the discussion is the case analysis of Indian Hotel and Restaurant Association versus State of Maharashtra. So let's begin. So basically, this case deals with the provision of the Maharashtra prohibition of obscene dance in hotels, restaurants, bar rooms, and protection of dignity of women working there in Act 2016. Also, the judgment that was pronounced by the honorable judges that came as a massive verdict because it merely prevented the bar dancers from losing their livelihood. Also, this verdict was a huge relief not only to the restaurant owners but also to the bar dancers who were exclusively dependent upon dancing bars for their livelihood and their earning. Also, in this case, Indian Hotel and Restaurant Association was the petitioner and the state of Maharashtra and others were the respondents. Now, talking about the background of this case, so this case came in action when the state legislature of Mumbai deliberated various licensing protocols and also stated certain regulations for the establishment of a restaurant. This case arose as an implication of certain rules pertaining to the amendments in the Maharashtra Police Act 1951, but this amendment was struck down as it was found to be in violation of Article 19(1)(a), 19(1)(g), Article 14 and Article 21 of the Constitution. So again, fresh amendments were made in the same act by the state, and after that in 2013 the Supreme Court upheld the decision of the High Court and disposed of the case. After that, the case again came up in the Supreme Court in the year 2016 to check the constitutional validity of the statute, and finally this case was decided in January 2019. Now, talking about the facts of this case, so this case involved three writ petitions that were filed by the Association of Hotel and Bar Owners, also by the R.R. Patil Foundation, and by the Bharatiya Bar Girls Union, which challenged certain provisions of the Dance Act. In 2005, the state introduced sections 33A and 33B to the Maharashtra Police Act 1951. Section 33A barred the performance of the bar dancers in any eating house or any permit room or beer bars, and also section 33B provided for the exceptions with regard to that only the bar dancers and the dance performers are entitled to perform in a theater or any club, and that will be open for the members only. This was struck down by the Bombay High Court and later was upheld by the Supreme Court in the case of State of Maharashtra versus Indian Hotel and Bar Associations and others. After that, further in 2014, the state of Maharashtra introduced the Maharashtra Police Second Amendment Act and re-included section 33A of the Maharashtra Police Act 1951, where it reintroduced the ban on dancing of women in any eating house, permit rooms or beer bars without any exceptions that were earlier provided in section 33B of the Maharashtra Police Act 1951. After that, the Honorable Court stated that no performance of dance shall remotely be expressive of any kind of obscenity, and therefore the section 8 of this act prescribes certain penal provisions for the non-compliance of the provisions of this act and lays down and imposes fine of rupees 10 lakhs and imprisonment for a maximum of 5 years. Also, there were certain rules that were included in this act that such a place must be 1 kilometer away from the educational and religious institutions. Also, the timings fixed for the public in bars should be from 6 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. No alcoholic drinks should be served in the bars with dance stages. There should not be any alteration in the premises of such place without the consent of the licensing authority. Also, CCTVs must be installed at the entrance of the bars along with the public places of public entertainment, and working women must be employed under a written contract and their salary should be deposited in their bank accounts. Also, while granting license, it must ensure that the person should be of a good character and he must not have any previous criminal record. Now, there were certain legal issues that were involved in this case. So first legal issue was that because of this legislation there was a complete ban of dance in beer bars, which violates the fundamental rights of Article 14, 15, 19 and 21 of the Constitution. Also, the conditions and the regulations and restrictions that were imposed by the government in obtaining the license, so that will be completely voidable and contradictory to Article 19 Clause 1 Subclause G. Complete ban of alcoholic drinks in bars was also considered, and also harsh punishments under the new legislation, will they be violative of Article 14, because already such punishment has been included in the IPC with regard to the same. Also, the installation of CCTV cameras in bars infringes the provisions of Article 21, which provides for the right to life and personal liberty. Now, talking about the argument on the side of the petitioners. So the petitioners argued that the state was trying to put a complete ban on the dance bars. Also, this was supported by the fact that till now no single license was issued to them. Also, the Bharatiya Bar Girls Union argued that the ban on the bar girls had a direct impact on their livelihood, and the number of performers in the union was reduced from 5,000 to 1,100, which led to a lot of unemployment among them. Also, they argued that the women had the right to choose to work as bar dancers and to negotiate their remuneration with their owners. Also, due to the social stigma associated with the installation of the CCTV cameras, they argued with respect to that, because it will intrude with their privacy also. And the certain arguments on the part of the respondents were that the respondent, in their submission, they argued that the Dance Act was merely adopted to curb the prostitution practices, also to stop the performance of such dance in furtherance of the public morality. They also submitted that the Dance Act was introduced to improve the conditions of work and protect the dignity of the women in such places, and to protect and prevent them from exploitation. Also, the additional conditions that were imposed in the dance bars, they were justified to be imposed in the interest of the public morality, integrity and decency. Also, with respect to the condition for the installation of the CCTV cameras at the entrance of the dance bars, that was merely so as to prevent the commission of the crime in those places. So now, what was the judgment in this case? So in this case, it was held by the Honorable Supreme Court that the Supreme Court relaxed the certain terms and conditions that were associated with the grant of license. Also, a complete ban that was imposed on the serving of alcoholic drinks was also prohibited, as it is completely arbitrary. Also, considering the case of K.S. Puttaswamy, the installation of CCTV cameras were allowed only at the entrance of the bars. Also, the condition of opening such places 1 kilometer away from the religious and educational institution was found to be in violation of Article 19(1)(g), so it was removed. After that, showering of currency notes onto the women was prohibited in bars, while allowing the tip to them, to the staff, was considered. And the timing mentioned in the act was considered enough. Also, the court made it compulsory to have a written contract with the employees, and the wages that need to be given to them, it should be directly deposited in their bank accounts. Also, obscenity is punishable in IPC already, so if any other law gives that much punishment with regard to this offense, then it will lead to the violation of Article 14. So now what we can conclude from this entire case is that this is a progressive judgment that was given by the Supreme Court, and all the issues that were raised by the petitioner and the respondent were taken into consideration, and they were in respect to that directly resolved by the Honorable Supreme Court. Also, the Supreme Court upheld the Maharashtra Government Act by diluting some of its provisions, because every citizen has a right to enjoy their fundamental rights. So guys, that's all about my discussion on this particular case. I hope you all liked my video. If you guys have any doubt with regard to this video, then you can comment in the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Lex Click. We will meet in the next video. Till then, bye.